is another video from Siemens PLC programming series, and today we are going to learn about the counter and more specifically up counter. So let's start with the TIA portal and see how you could insert the up counter in your ladder logic. So for getting the up counter or any type of the counter, so you comes actually here to the instruction and you see inside the counter operation you could find these three type of the counter. The CTU is up counter, CDD is down counter, and CTUD is up down counter. So in this video we more focus on the up counter. In the next other videos you will see and we will talk about the other two, which is down and up down. So for getting the up counter, so you just need to drag and drop these block, which is the CDU. So see, I already did that, so here I just want to show you how you could actually get that to your ladder logic. So you actually drag and drop on your ladder logic, then say okay, and it's actually make you the CTU, which I already put that. I'm going to eliminate that. So the CTU units or up counter has few inputs that you see here and also a few outputs. So let's first check the input. So as you can see here, you have one input which is the counter pulse. So this is actually the input that you get pulse, and your counter whenever see each pulse it start to count that pulse. So for this case I connect that to the normally open switch, so that means whenever I close open the switch I make a pulse and it's actually count by 1. So I put these on the input 0 and I put the tag number clock pulse up for the up counter or CP UP. You could give any tag name that make more sense for you. So the second input is the R, so which is this is a reset if you remember from the digital topic. So each up counter has an input which is the reset. Whenever you active that, it's initialize the 0 inside your counter, so then your counter start to count from 0 to up. So this is exactly that reset input that we have. For this case I connect that to the normally open switch in which is connected to the input 1 in my PLC. So definitely whenever you off toggle that switch you make one pulse, somehow you active these reset and it's going to be initialized 0 inside these counter. So each counter definitely should be have one up limit. So that means if you initialize here on PV5, so it start to counting from 0 to 5. Whenever it is 5, it's going to active these output that you see that you have here. So that means in this PV tells you how high you should actually count. So if that's 100, so the counter start to count from 0 to 100. Whenever you reach to the 100 is turn on this Q output. If this is 5, it just count 5 pulse. Whenever it is 5, it's going to turn these on. Otherwise, this output is 0. So the CV is current value, so that means it shows what number you have inside the counter in any moment or any time. So if you want to actually see how you could find the same thing that I explained in the help, so there is other way you could get more info if you still have the problem with these input and output. You comes here to help and click on show help. So then let's see, it's probably takes few minutes we get the help. Yes, we get that here. So here you see this is a search here. You just go and search for the CTU, which is the up counter. I type here CTU. You could use these for any blocks that you have in your TIA portal and any topics that you actually want to get more info. So for this case, I'm looking for CTU, which is the up counter. I want to see more detail about the inputs and outputs. So the first one, CTU counter up, I click on that. So it's going to bring me count up. If you go down, So you see here is TD, not this table. This one is the whole info that you are looking for, these 5 input and outputs that we have. In the same explanation that I explained in the beginning of this video, the CU input is the count input. This is actually the place that you get the pulse for counting. The R is the reset input. The PV is the value at which the Q output is set. So that means whenever the counter reaches the P value, is going to be turned on this Q value. So the Q is the counter status, so that's only is set whenever counter reaches to PV value. And the CV is the current counter value, so definitely whenever in each moment you could take a look to CV and know which numbers you have in, or which number you are counting in your up counter. So again, if you need any info or any information, definitely the help is the best place you go and search for the info that you are looking for. So let's to actually back to the PLC and let's to implement these simple ladder logic in our PLC. Let I load that again to make sure I have the ladder logic in my PLC. So let's say load. Yeah, I already loaded one time, so that's the reason for me it's faster. Yeah, probably if you do that from scratch, it takes actually few more minutes to load it. So here I almost have everything that I need. So let I just go to the online mode that see what's going on inside the ladder logic. Okay, so let's to implement this and see what we will get. So let I turn on my webcam here that you're able to see what we have on the PLC. So in the same time, just take a look to here and also the PLC that we have. So as I mentioned before, so the input, the clock pulse come from the input 0. So let I show the input 0 is this toggle switch that I have here, the first one, and this is a corresponding LED for that, and the reset is here in this the second toggle switch that we have, which is this LED is related to currently the both of them is 0. And the output that we have is on the output 0, which is this LED that you see. It shows the status of the output 0. So 1, 2 is input and this is output. So as usual, whenever you want to start to work with any counter, first you reset that, right? So I'm actually active that reset that, so it's actually initialize the 0 here, which is makes sense. Then after that, whenever I push this button, so which is produce a pulse, it should be start to count. So I'm starting, it's actually 1, I go up, C is 2. So see, this changes, these value change, and also current value is 2. And in all of them, it is a 0. Whenever you reach to the 5, it's going to be turned that on. So 3, 4, and see this. Whenever it is 5, it's actually turned on this because you reach the 5. So even if you keep going, 6, 7, still this keep these on. So if you want to reset that again back to your reset button, you push that everything back to the 0. This is again off. And again, if you continue to go up, so you could do that, and again in the 5 is going to turn on the output. Again, you could reset it and keep going to the 5, and again whenever you are on 5 it's going to fire Q or set the Q. So this is up counter. In the next video we are going to talk about the down counter. Thank you for watching this video and see you all in our next video.